Hello everyone! Hello, welcome to live lab number 8 on how to deploy an Oracle database on Amazon RDS. I can see already a few of you joined. Hello William, hello Kelvin, hello. Wait, I'm just gonna see the gallery view. All right, so hello Salvador, hello Dylan, hello Brian, hello Kelvin, hello William, hello Jordan. Welcome to live lab number 8 on how to deploy an Oracle database in Amazon RDS. And Happy New Year 2024, Happy New Year. I wish you tons of great learning in cloud computing, AI, and new technologies. Hello, Charles. Welcome to Live Lab number 8. Hello, Vikas, who just joined. Hello, Vikas. Welcome to Live Lab number 8. And hello, Nafsika. Hello, I just saw you joined. Welcome to Live Lab number 8 and Happy New Year. Happy 2024. Hello, Dylan. Okay, so right now we are 11.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you're all excited about this new year with tons of new learnings to accumulate, because the world of technology is evolving fast, and that's why Kira and I, we want to develop these platforms to help keep you up to date with everything. And cloud computing will be one of the major technologies in the coming years. So yes, we will we will follow the evolution all together. 14 people joined. Okay, so let me say hello to the new people who joined. So hello, Ray. Hello, Happy New Year. Happy 2024. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Marcos. All right, 5 minutes. So I think we can start. Hello and welcome to Live Lab number 8 on how to deploy an Oracle database in Amazon RDS. So as you know, Amazon RDS is one of the main database services of AWS, on which you can deploy many different databases, MySQL database, Oracle database. In the course, we saw how to build a MySQL database, but we haven't covered yet how to deploy an Oracle database, because first, it's not part of the free tier. Second, it's not really part of the exam. But with the popularity of Oracle databases, I'm personally a big fan of Oracle databases. They have so many applications in the world right now, especially in blockchain. Oracle databases are used everywhere, and that's how I thought it could be interesting for you to know how to deploy an Oracle database in Amazon RDS. I'm curious, feel free to share in the chat if any of you is already using or has already used before an Oracle database, whether it is on AWS or elsewhere. Please share in the chat. I'm curious to see who of you already used an Oracle database. Janin, you have? Good. Okay. Was it on AWS or outside of AWS? Outside the cloud. Okay, so very interesting. Very interesting. You're about to use for the first time an Oracle database in the cloud. That's fantastic. William, okay, so Federico, you never used. Okay, so there you go. You will discover Oracle databases today. William, briefly. Okay, good. I suppose it was outside of the cloud. Kathy, you've used Oracle, not cloud, for 20 years. Woohoo, amazing. So Kathy, feel free to participate to this lab with me and suggest some things to do with Oracle, because we're about to build an Oracle database in Amazon RDS using the cloud. So Janin, you say Oracle database in school and at work. Okay, good. So yes, you have some experience. Charles, you say yes, on-premise. Okay, good. On premises. Diren, you say yes, used Oracle outside the cloud. Okay. And Marcos, not directly, abstracted via PeopleSoft. Okay. So interesting. So basically, most of you have already used an Oracle database, but used it or them outside of the cloud on premises. So it's going to be good for you to learn how to use and deploy an Oracle database in the cloud using Amazon RDS. So that's fantastic. I'm very happy that I can show you something new. So here we go. And Salvador, you're saying yes, basic queries. Okay, perfect. Excellent. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen now. All right, can you all see my screen? Nafsika, yes. Jordan, yes. Ray, yes. Okay, perfect. Excellent. And the sound is good? No background noise or anything? All is good? Perfect. Okay, thank you, Nafsika. Let's get started. All right. So welcome again to Live Lab number 8 on how to deploy an Oracle database in Amazon RDS. First, let's all connect to AWS console. I remind that the principle of those live labs is that we all build the applications together. It's not just me who is going to build something. It's every one of you. However, I have to, warn you, as we are responsible in CloudWolf, that it is not part of the free tier and it will incur some cost. But if you don't want to get charged at all, then indeed I would rather recommend to either watch this live lab or, do the first steps. And then when it's time to create the database, then you stop here, all right, in order to not get charged. Okay? All right, so here we go. Let's all go to the console home. And okay, so as I was saying, this lab is interactive. And therefore, my first question to you is, what, according to you, would be the first step when creating an Oracle database on Amazon RDS? Is it to go to RDS already, or is it to go to another service? Okay, a few dollars is okay. Good. Awesome. So you can complete the whole lab. And anyway, we will do the cleanup at the end, of course, just like in every lab or in like every section of courses. IAM user, Marcos. So that's a great idea. That's indeed what we usually did in our previous labs. But no, actually, we won't need any IAM permissions for this lab. It's something that has rather to do with the fact that, at the end, we will have to connect to our Oracle database in Amazon RDS, and therefore we need some kind of permissions, but it's not really IAM permissions. It's something else. It's, if I should give you a hint, it's rules. It has to do with rules. Policy, very good, Nafsika, amazing, security group. So Marcos, no, it's not policy, because again, policy still has to do with IAM permissions. You would configure the policy in IAM, but no, actually, we don't need any IAM permissions for this lab, to actually connect to our database. But what we do need, Nafsika, you're absolutely right, is a security group that will open, the port for Oracle, and also SSL, which allows connection to your Oracle database. So that's exactly right. Our first step here will be to create a security group that will open these inbound rules to connect to our future Oracle database in Amazon RDS. All right, so let's do this. That's our first step here indeed. We are going to go to the EC2 service. So let's all go to EC2, and inside EC2, we're going to create a security group that allows those traffics. All right, so let's scroll down to network and security here, and let's go to security groups. Okay, good. Then let's create a security group. All right, so let's give it a name. We can call it Oracle Database Security Group, just to make it super clear. Oracle Database Security Group allows, Oracle access, let's say. Okay. And here you can keep your VPC. We don't have to create a new VPC. We can use the default one. So that's perfect. The most important part now is to configure the inbound rules. So according to you, which rule do we have to add here? Let's try to do it together, So in the type, let's try to find the one that we're supposed to create now, to add. All right, so scroll down. There are actually two inbound rules to create. The first one is pretty obvious. So Nafsika, HTTPS, no. No, we don't need to create a rule that will allow HTTPS traffic. It's rather a rule that will allow Oracle traffic, connection to our Oracle database. SSH, so one of them is almost SSH. Actually, for an Oracle database, it's not SSH. I will tell you right away, it's not SSH, but it is SSQL. No, not SSQL. SSQL, no, almost ready, almost got it. Yes, Kelvin, you got it. SSL, that's exactly right. That's exactly what we need. So that was the non-obvious one, actually, in the inbound rules. So, of course, we have to create them in the inbound rules. So let's first create the first one, Oracle RDS, port range 1521, and here, anywhere IPv4. Inbound rules, Oracle RDS. And then for the second one, as I was saying, we have to create an SSL inbound rule, but you won't find it among the options here. You will find SSH, but you can definitely enter the port range, which is actually 2484. That's for SSL. All right, and same here, you can enter anywhere IPv4. All right, so a first inbound rule for Oracle RDS with the port range 1521, and a second inbound rule for SSL with the port range 2484, both having the same source, which is anywhere IPv4.
Hadelin,
yes.
a quick question.
Of course.
Could you explain what you are trying to do here? Is that you're trying to create a Oracle database in the cloud, or you try to move the Oracle database from outside to the cloud?
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is not yet related to the database. There is no database yet. We haven't created any database, but I'm just configuring the security group rules, the security group inbound rules, which will allow us later on to connect to our database from an external Oracle software, you know? Basically now, I'm just configuring the rule. Then we will create the database, and at the end, we will test a connection to our database. And in order to connect to our database, we need these security rules that will allow us to connect from externally to AWS to our database in AWS.
Okay, so this inbound is a try to connect from outside to your Oracle database in the cloud, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It will allow us to
Thank you
connect
very
from
much.
outside, meaning our machine, you know, where we are right now
Right.
in the world, to our database in the cloud.
Sure.
Okay?
Thank you very
Great
much.
question. Great question. Any other question on what we're doing right now?
Hadelin?
Yes, Anapsika?
Yes, just a small question, not very interesting, but still in the basic details just above, we
Yes.
entered the name for security group, and do we have to enter anything for the description or not really?
The description is optional. I entered allows Oracle access.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
but I
good.
think it's optional. I think if you don't enter any description, it won't stop you from creating the security
Okay.
group. No, that was an
Thank
interesting question. You know, sometimes descriptions are compulsory in AWS.
Yeah, and it's not written optional. That's why I thought maybe I should ask.
Yeah, definitely. No, feel free to ask any question you want. No question is uninteresting or stupid, you know?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so to sum up, we have to create two inbound rules. Oracle RDS that has a port range 1521 with anywhere IPv4 as the source, and the SSL inbound rule with the port range 2484 with anywhere IPv4 as the source. Okay? All good for everyone? We can create a security group. Okay? That was the first step. And now, according to you, what is the second step? EC2? So, Kathy, we're already in EC2. What do you mean in EC2? Do you think we should do something else in EC2? Launch? You mean launch an EC2 instance, for example? No, actually, so connecting your database to an EC2 instance is an option. You can actually boost basically your RDS database thanks to an EC2 instance, but we won't do it here in the lab. So basically, actually, we are done with EC2. In EC2, we just had to create the security group with these two inbound rules. Okay? So we're done here. Now the next step is to go to another service. The next step is to very simply go to RDS and start not really directly creating our database, but at least start with the configurations. All right. So we're going to stay here anyway because we want our security group. We will use it. So we're going to stay here. We're going to leave this tab open, but we're just going to open RDS in a new tab. So here I'm opening RDS in a new tab, and here we go. All right, so welcome to Amazon RDS, the essential database service of AWS, which allows you to create many different types of databases with, MySQL, PostgreSQL, and of course, Oracle. You even have Amazon Aura, which allows you to create even more advanced and more powerful databases. But today, of course, we're going to create an Oracle database using Amazon RDS. So to create a database, you go to databases here, but that's not the first thing we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is actually go to option groups, which will allow to create, a group that will make the connection with our security group we just created to our future Oracle database. All right. So here we go. Let's go to option group and let's click create group. Okay. So we can call it SSL. All right. Here in the description, we can say allows SSL for our Oracle database. And engine, you're going to scroll down and pick this one, Oracle EE. Then major engine version 19. All right, so I will wait a little bit. Okay, so an Nafsika, what is an option group? An option group is basically what will allow us to create an SSL connection to our database. First, we have to create a security group to allow traffic to our Oracle database from outside of AWS. And now we have to create this option group, which will allow the SSL connection, just that SSL part. You will see then when we configure the option group, we will select the security group that has indeed this SSL inbound rule. So this is mainly for the SSL connection. Sure, most welcome. All right, so let's call it like that. Here you can say SSL connection to our Oracle database. All right, and then let's click create. Okay, so we have our SSL option group, but that's not all. We still need to do something. So we're going to select it, and then we're going to click add option. Option name, we're going to select here SSL. So you see, that's where we make the connection with SSL. So that's really the purpose of creating this option group. It is to indeed select SSL here to indeed allow an SSL connection to our Oracle database. So in add option, yes, make sure to select SSL here among all the different options. That's, the option part of option group. So SSL here. And there you go. See? Automatically, you will find Oracle Database Security Group, which is the exact same security group that we just created. And also, automatically, the right port will be selected, the port 2484, which is the port to open SSL. So 2484 here, you should have it selected by default. And then Oracle Database Security Group. And then we're also going to select the default one so that we can have the two security groups. All right, here you don't have to do anything. Apply immediately. Yes, you're going to select yes. And yes, all good. So basically here, the only thing that you have to do is in option name, you select SSL. Then you should have selected this by default. You should have your security group, Oracle Database Security Group you just created selected by default, but you can add the default one as well. And then you can select here, apply immediately. All right, any question before we proceed? What does the default do? So the default is actually not necessary. It can work without the default. I just have it selected. We can try to do it without the default. It's just that when I experimented myself, I selected both. So the default is basically the default security group of our VPC. Kathy, you're asking, is SSL connection needed for all kinds of RDS services? Absolutely not. No, you can totally create for example, a MySQL database without an SSL connection. Actually, that's what we did in the first lab. In the first lab on AWS Glue, we do create an RDS database, and we don't have to create an SSL connection at all. Each of us has a different default. Yes, absolutely, Nafsika. The default VPC is your own VPC inside your AWS console. So it's totally normal that you have a different one. Okay, all good for everyone? All right, so let's proceed. I'm going to continue with both security groups. And let's click add option. Okay, so now as you can see in the options, we have SSL, which is the required option for our future Oracle database we're about to create. Okay, so that was a new compulsory step. Now I'm going to show you not a compulsory step, but an optional step, but which would be good for you to know in case you want to configure your Oracle database. And I'm talking about parameter groups. All right, so parameter groups will allow to configure your RDS database with many different configuration options. Let me show you right away. If you click create parameter group, well, you will see a lot of different configuration options which you wouldn't be able to change or configure in the default parameter group of your future Oracle database, which is the exact reason or purpose of creating your own parameter group. Basically, it allows you to do much more configuration than with the default parameter group. Basically, every Oracle database has a parameter group, which is the default parameter group. But in the default parameter group, you can't change anything. It has to, it has to keep the default options, the default values of your database. But if you want to configure these values, then you have to create your own parameter group, and you will see exactly what are these values. All right, so parameter group family, we're going to choose, of course, Oracle. So we're going to use the same Oracle that we created, meaning Oracle EE19. All right, Oracle EE19. Group name, let's call this Oracle Database Parameter Group. And description, okay, not sure if it's compulsory again, parameter group for Oracle Database. All right. And once we click create, you will see what I was talking about. Those different configuration options that you can configure if you create your own parameter group, and which you can't configure if you use the default parameter group of your Oracle database. So let's click create. All right. Then you're going to select this. You're going to click actions, and you're going to click edit. All right. And here are all the values I was talking about. So for example, this one, let's take this option. You see, all this is completely optional, right? You don't have to create your own parameter group. I'm just showing this to you in case you really want to get advanced in Oracle databases used in RDS, and therefore do all these configurations that are available to you if you create your own parameter group. So for example, this first option here, this first parameter is called add call optim enabled, and it allows new add column optimization. You can specify the value using a Boolean constant. Okay, so yes, here you would specify true or false in order to enable it or not. Basically, it's to optimize the addition of new columns in your database. All right, and you have many of them. You see, you have all these parameters, and you have many more pages of them. I just wanted you to see this so that you can see all the different configuration options, if you want to work more with Oracle databases. Okay, so just for the sake of having our own parameter group, let's indeed select this one, select value for parameter true, okay, to have this optimization of column addition. Then let's click Save Changes. And then here you have a summary of your different parameters. All right, completely optional step. We will still enter this parameter group in our future Oracle database. But there we go. That's something you should know if you want to do some advanced configuration. Any questions? Sounds good. Just want to understand on deeper level. Thank you. Sure, you're welcome, Marcos. I guess you were talking about that security group thing. I want to try after the lab without the security group, the default one. So these are the additional options we are wanting to configure add to our custom parameter group to be made available for. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Basically, these are the additional options, but which you can't configure if you use the default parameter group when creating your Oracle database. You will see when we create the Oracle database, there'll be the parameter option. And you will see that if we keep the default one, we can't change anything. So if you want to be able to configure all these options here, well, you have to create your own parameter group. I'll show you this in a second when we create the Oracle database. Any other questions before we proceed? Okay, let's continue. Let's proceed. Now comes the exciting step when we start creating our Oracle database. Okay, so we are okay with the parameter groups. So let's go back to RDS. So now we have an option group, for SSL connection. We have a parameter group if we want to do some advanced configuration of our future Oracle database. Basically, we have everything we need to create our Oracle database. And to create it, well, we go to databases here, and we click create database. All right. So create database. We're going to choose the standard create because we will configure a lot of things. If you choose the easy create, for example, you won't be able to configure the parameter group or even the option group. So let's choose standard create. And also I want to show you all the different options when creating an Oracle database. All right. So just to remind you, here are the different engine options that you can create with RDS. So you have Aurora, which is MySQL compatible, Aurora with PostgreSQL compatible, MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, and IBM DB2. So of course here, let's select Oracle. All right, Oracle Database is a relational database management system developed by Oracle. Amazon RDS makes it easy to set up, operate, and scale Oracle database deployments in the cloud With Amazon RDS, you can deploy multiple editions of Oracle database in minutes with cost-efficient and resizable hardware capacity. Okay, awesome. So let's scroll down. Let's continue. Database management type. All right. So here we're going to choose Amazon RDS. Architecture settings, Oracle multi-tenant architecture. So that basically allows you to create a container database, which is called CDB, which allows you to include one or more tenant databases, but we won't use that. So leave this disabled, leave this option disabled. Edition, Oracle Enterprise Edition or Oracle Standard Edition 2. We're going to keep Oracle Enterprise Edition. No worries, I will stop you whenever we start paying, which is basically when we click the create button, but so far so good. No cost is incurred. License, bring your own license, of course, we don't have a choice. Engine version, I think there is only, okay, so there are all the different versions here. Okay, interesting. Let's keep the one that is selected, that's totally fine. It doesn't really matter, unless you want to use a specific version of the engine, of the Oracle engine. Template, so for sure here we're going to choose production as opposed to dev test. So it uses defaults for high availability and fast, consistent performance. Settings. All right, DB instance identifier. Let's give it a nice name, Oracle database, like that, Oracle database. It's case insensitive. Okay, so we can call it like that, Oracle database. All right, feel free to call it whatever you want. It is not the name we will use, the identifier we'll use when connecting to our database, which is the SID. This is just a name that will appear in your RDS, Amazon RDS console. Okay, then master username. So here you can enter your name or you can leave admin if you want. That will basically be the username you will enter when connecting to your Oracle database from outside of AWS, meaning from your machine, your computer. All right, manage master credentials in AWS Secrets Manager. So that's just if you want to, manage, yes, your credentials and keep them locked and encrypted in Secrets Manager. I think we have a Secrets Manager tutorial in the CCP course. Then here you have to enter a password. So either you can auto-generate a password or create your own password. I'm going to enter my own password. And this is, of course, the password you will enter when connecting to your database from outside of AWS, from your machine. Okay? Just checking the questions. Does Oracle use OLTP? Yes. Yes, it's actually a very useful application. Actually, when you look at the advantages of Oracle, it's mentioning OLTP. It's a very good solution for OLTP. Okay, so master password. Yes. Then instance configuration. So here, that's where you can choose basically your instance. So we're going to choose the smallest one, in case you want to proceed and create a database. It basically, in order to minimize the cost here, I'm going to choose this one. It only has 2 virtual CPUs, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and 4,750 megabytes per second for the network connectivity. What was the one that was selected by default? DB M6i X large. Okay. X large. Okay, so yes, you see this one, for example, would be more expensive. Let's take this one, DB M5 large. In case you want to proceed, that will be the least expensive. Then additional configuration. Here, that's fine. We won't override default values. That's totally fine. Okay? Any questions? I have to attend a meeting. Thank you for your time, Hadelin. Okay, thank you for joining, Federico. No worries, you will have the recording to watch if you want to finish, building and deploying this Oracle database. Thank you for attending. All right, so now let's scroll down and let's go to storage. All right, so storage type. Again, we're going to minimize the cost. We're going to choose general purpose SSD. Allocated storage, the minimum value is 20 gigabytes. Perfect. We're going to keep 20 gigabytes. All right, I'm just minimizing the cost here. Of course, you can choose any storage type you want or allocated storage you want. Of course, we won't build a super big database. I just want to show you actually how to connect to your database, and then feel free to create any table you want with any data you want. But there you go. That's how you configure the storage here. Let's choose general purpose SSD, 20. Storage auto-scaling. Enable storage auto-scaling. Sure, why not? We can keep this, that's fine. Maximum storage threshold, we can keep this to 1000 gigabytes. Availability and durability. So here, that's where you can configure multi-AZ deployment. So we should always keep that option selected. It's much more, much safer for any application you build on AWS, multi-AZ. So let's keep that. Recommended for production usage indeed. And it indeed creates a standby in a different availability zone to provide data redundancy, eliminate input-output freezes, and minimize latency spikes during system backups. Of course, we won't really need it for this lab, but that's indeed the general recommended option. Connectivity. All right, so I don't remember who said EC2 before. When I asked what would be the next step. Kathy, that was you. Yes, EC2. So Kathy, you were actually having a good instinct, to suggest EC2, because indeed, in RDS, when you create an Oracle database, you have the option to connect to an EC2 instance. All right, and that's exactly how you would do it in connectivity here. You could connect to an EC2 compute resource, set up a connection to an EC2 compute resource for this database. All right, so that's what I was telling you before. But in this lab, we won't do it. We don't need to do it, but just remember that this is an option that you can do. You can connect your database to an EC2 instance, all right? Okay, so network type, IPv4 or dual stack mode, we're going to keep IPv4. Just checking the questions here. Okay, all good. And here, virtual private cloud, default VPC, you can keep your default VPC. You don't have to create a new one, all right? Okay. Then DB subnet group, we can keep the default one anyway. We don't have any option. Public access. So here, that's very important. We have to select yes here, because if we select no, we will have a connection error. We won't be able to connect to our database from outside of AWS, from our machine, which we'll do at the end of this lab just for the final demo. So here we have to indeed configure the public access to yes. All right. Then VPC security group, firewall. All right. So here, again, the default is selected by default. Of course, we're going to choose our Oracle database security group. So now, Marcos, again, we are wondering if we have to keep the default one. I'm not sure we have to keep the default one. I want to try without anyway. So I'm gonna delete it, and we'll see if that works. Okay. When I tested it before, I kept the default one, but let's see if it can work without the default one. Oracle database security group, definitely we have to select it. All right. So make sure to select the Oracle database security group, which is the security group we created in the first step of this lab, the security group that allows the Oracle traffic, that opens the Oracle port 1524 and then the SSL port. Okay. And certificate authority optional. Yes, that you can keep the default one. That's the server certificate. And let's then expand additional configuration. Database port 1521. Okay, so that's the port for Oracle. Let's, of course, keep it like that. Just checking the questions. All is good. So all is good for everyone. I hope I'm not going too fast because here we have a lot of options to configure. All good. Okay, good. Perfect. So let's go back here. All right, so make sure to select the Oracle database security group we created in step 1. Now, database authentication. Yes, password authentication. Perfect. Now, monitoring. So you know that you can do some advanced monitoring. You can turn on performance insights with a retention period of 7 days, which is part of the free tier. But you can have longer retention periods, up to 24 months. Okay, we're going to keep the default AWS/RDS AWS KMS key. That's perfect. And let's, in additional configuration, you have some enhanced monitoring. All right. Here you have the granularity, which can go from 1 second to 60 seconds. Let's keep 60 seconds. And you can even choose to disable enhanced monitoring, right? It's really not useful for what we're going to build. So actually, let's keep it disabled. But if you want to use it, yes, you can indeed have some enhanced monitoring. All right, but totally unnecessary for what we're about to build. Create database. Okay, so I think I might have missed something because I didn't see the part where we choose the option group. Did I miss a step here? Additional configuration, all good. No, the option group, actually, we will, assign it right after we create the database. Okay, so yes, I think we're good with all the different configuration. Let me just check once again. Oracle Enterprise Edition, yes. Bring your own license, engine version, production, Oracle database, master username, master password, DB instance class, standard class, storage type general purpose SSD, allocated storage 20, storage auto scaling. Okay, good. Multi-AZ deployment, yes. Connectivity, okay. IPv4, default VPC, yeah, that's good. DB subnet group default, public access, yes, very important. VPC security group, choose existing. That's the one we created in the first step, all good. Additional configuration, all good. Password authentication. There you go. That's what I missed. Additional configuration. It was right in front of my eyes. Okay, so additional configuration, here we go. So initial database name, that's very important. That's basically the identifier of your database, which you will have to enter when connecting to your database from outside of AWS, all right? And so for this, we can choose, for example, ORCL, for Oracle. So that's basically the identifier we'll use to connect to our database. All right, and here, as I was telling you, this is what I was looking for. This is where you can select, enter the parameter group and the option group we created before to our Oracle database. Okay, so here, of course, we choose the one we created just before, Oracle database parameter group, because indeed, if you choose this one, default Oracle E19, you will have the default parameters, which you won't be able to change afterwards, which is the exact purpose, the exact reason why we created this Oracle database parameter group. If you choose this one, the one you created, not the one by default, then you have total freedom to configure any of the parameters that we saw before when creating the parameter group. Okay, so that's better. Then option group, of course, here we're going to choose the SSL option group we created before. So that's where you select the option group, and character set, you can keep the one selected by default. Any question here? Did you make sure not to miss that additional configuration? Marcos, you're asking, I assume that after we have created the Oracle database, if needed, we can add the default security group. Yes, absolutely. Oh, yes. Very easy. You select your Oracle database, you click modify, and if it doesn't work, we can do this and add the default security group. But you spiked my curiosity, and I want to try without the default security group. I think it might work without default security group. But totally, actually, remember in the first lab, live lab number 1, we did a lot of troubleshooting, going back and modifying the database. So maybe that's what we'll do again here. Let's see. It's interesting to experiment. I'm exactly like you, Marcos. I like to go into the bottom of things to understand really what is, really making things possible and not possible. All right. So ORCL or any other database name, Oracle database parameter group for the parameter group, SSL option group for the option group, basically the ones we created before. Backup, enable automated backups. No, we can keep that disabled. This is not needed for the lab. Encryption, enable encryption. Yes, why not? We can enable encryption or not, because we actually won't use it for this lab. So we can disable encryption. That's totally fine. Log exports. So yeah, you can have some alert log, audit log, listener log, Oracle management agent log, trace log, but we won't use this in the lab. IAM role. So that's why we didn't have actually to, go to IAM in the first step of this lab to get some permissions, because by default we have the RDS service linked role, which is an IAM role for RDS, basically allowing us to, use RDS. And maintenance, enable auto minor version upgrades, will automatically upgrade to new minor versions as they are released. Okay, so you know that Amazon RDS is a managed service. So basically it will, patch, it will update, upgrade, whatever is necessary to update automatically without you having to do it. And here you have this option to enable, some minor version upgrade, which will automatically upgrade to minor versions as they are released, for your database. So we won't need this. I just want to show you all the options. Maintenance window, select the period you want pending modifications or maintenance applied to the database by Amazon RDS. We can choose. We can keep no preference. That's fine. Deletion protection, enable deletion protection, protects the database from being deleted accidentally. While this option is enabled, you can't delete the database. Okay. We're gonna unselect this. It's fine, because anyway, at the end, we will delete the database because we will do the final cleanup. Okay, so now all is good. We have the option group, we have the parameter group, we have Oracle selected, of course, we have our credentials, we have everything. All is good, and we configured the minimum configuration to optimize the cost. And now is the time, if you don't want to get charged at all, to stop what you're doing and click cancel and just keep watching the lab. All right, because this is from where the small charges will incur. Let me check the questions. All is good? All is good for everyone? Okay, perfect. All is good for everyone. Cool. So let's go back to RDS and let's create our database. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, perfect. So that's a suggested add-on for Oracle database. Let's have a quick look at it. It's basically Elasticache. You can create an Elasticache cluster from RDS using your database settings. Apparently it's new. I never tried it. That's not part of this lab. This is out of the scope for this lab. But yeah, just know that you have this option if you want. What does it do? It allows you to save cost and improve read performance by using Elasticache with RDS versus running on RDS alone. Okay? All right, so good to know. And now your database is created. All right, so what have we done so far? We created one security group that has 2 inbound rules, one for SSL and one for Oracle. Then we created an option group, with the SSL option. Then we created a parameter group allowing us to configure all the different parameters of your database, as opposed to using the default parameter group with which we can't configure any of these parameters. Well, we have to keep the default ones. And finally, we created our Oracle database, which is right here. Right now, it is being created, and it is being created in the US East 1F availability zone. We took the smallest one, the cheapest one, DB M5 large. It is being created, and we took the Oracle Enterprise Edition option. All right. Any questions while the Oracle database is being created? Let's talk about some things. Of course, feel free to unmute yourself and ask some questions outside of the chat as you want.
Hadelin?
Yes, Nafsika.
When it's written create the Oracle database, what it means is that it's creating the structure that will accept the data, or does it create a format, or what does it really mean to create?
Okay, it basically creates the underlying instance. It creates like the engine that will support your database. When you create an EC2 instance, for example, when you create a server, there is the underlying EC2 instance that supports the server. Well, here for a database, okay, we don't have the final database yet with the tables and everything, but the engine that supports database is exactly what we're creating now, which is called the database instance. So what we have just created is the database instance. It's a very good question, actually, what you're asking, because it's not really the final database with the tables. It's really the instance, the engine that supports, the database, the final database. So yeah, the answer to your question is basically the database instance. It's a technical term to remember. It's very important to distinguish, for example, the database instance to the database as the general public knows it, which is basically the tables and the queries and everything. Here we are creating the instance, which has an engine, which is here the Oracle Enterprise Engine. Here, that's where you see after. Once the database is created, I will show you all the different details of that database, and you will see that. And you will see that we will see the instance. See, we can already see the instance here. That's what we created here. But you will see many other details which will allow you to understand exactly what we created.
So this is necessary on the cloud, right? This
Yes.
kind of engine. It has. Okay. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And you have many different instances that you can create with many different sizes. I showed you the different sizes. We took the smallest one, but we also have different engines. We also have different engines like MySQL, PostgreSQL, Aura, So yeah, all of them you can create on AWS in Amazon RDS. Okay, I'm curious, who is doing the lab at the same time? Who is really creating that database, and who is just watching, which I would totally understand, right? Because, okay, Nafsika, you're doing it. Good. Ray, you're watching. Okay. Exactly, Ray. That's similar to the EC2 instance creation. Basically, what we just did is to create a database instance, just like we would create an EC2 instance in EC2. Salvador, just watching for now. Okay, cool. Charles, the tables are part of a schema of which an instance can have many. Just watching. Okay, yes. Thanks, Charles. That's right. Just watching, trying to, what do you mean, Elzbieta? You're trying to build also the database instance? If there is any step you missed, feel free to ask me and I will help you. Diran, just watching, okay. Kelvin, observing, will practice later, okay. Nafsika engines are used for many things on the cloud, yes. Marcos, Kathy, you're just watching. Marcos, watching intently, okay. Brian watching. Okay, so most of you are watching. That's good. No risk taken, and you're learning very well as well. Okay, Asbeta, you got a bit late. Okay, so Asbeta, as you want. Either you can ask me some questions on any step you think you missed, or you can watch the recording and redo it, at your own pace. As you want. Feel free to let me know. All right, so how is my database going? Still creating. Okay, still creating. We have just reached 1 hour of this lab. Okay. It won't be as long as the previous one, It's not like we're building a whole pipeline, but I definitely want to show you how to create an Oracle database and how to connect to it. Then we won't create any tables or, create a big table, because then that's a bit out of the scope of, how to create a database itself. Then it's more related to how to make queries and everything. But you'll definitely know how to, you'll definitely see where to make queries. It's basically from your machine with the software we will use. I will introduce it to you right after, and probably some of you are already using it. It's just that now we're not going to connect to a database in our company. We're going to connect to our database in the cloud that we created in the cloud. Okay, so Elzbieta, you're saying I will do it at my own pace later. Thanks for offering. Perfect. Okay, as you want. All right, how is my database going? Creating still. Okay. Ray, is it because you picked the large option? That's why it's taking so long? No. It's always taking a bit, a few minutes to create an RDS, a database instance. But you're saying I picked the large option. Did I pick the large option? DBM5 large. I thought I picked the smallest option, but maybe you're right. Maybe there was another option, smaller option that I could have picked. Anyway, it's not going to take like tens of minutes. It's going to be ready soon. If I refresh, yeah. No, it's always taking a few minutes. Ray, did you choose a smaller option? Because me, I just scrolled up and took the option above because I thought that this would be the smallest option. But maybe you're right. Maybe there was even a smaller option. Mine had 2 virtual CPUs, 8 gigabytes of memory, and I don't remember the connectivity, but I think it was among the small options. What is actually taking time, Nafsika? Yes, it's the creation of the database instance. I created many different kinds of database instances in RDS, and it's always taking a bit of time. It's always taking a few minutes, so this is completely normal. It's not like EC2 where it's created in a few seconds, unfortunately. But yeah, it will be ready in a few moments, in a few minutes.
Hadelin, I
Yes?
have a quick question, but it's in
Sure.
regard. It's not related to what we are doing here. It's about the free AWS account, right? So
Yes.
when you create it, you get some of the free tier for some of the services.
Yes.
So the majority of them are for 12 months, but some of them are only for 2 months. So for those 2 months, is that account from the first day the account is created?
Yes, that's from. So for some services, it's from the first day you create the account, but for other services, it's from the first day you use the service. For example, I think Amazon Forecast, one of the machine learning services, has this. It's from the first day you use it. But AWS is very transparent with the pricing. So anytime you use a service, feel free to Google, the name of the service pricing, and then you will end up on the AWS page explaining all the pricing, and it's very well explained. I'll show you, for example, for Amazon Forecast. Amazon Forecast pricing. All right, so you see, I entered Amazon Forecast pricing. I took the first link. Oh, sorry, that's in French. Okay, English. All right, so you see, it's very well explained. Free tier. So let's see what they say. For the first 2 months of using Forecast, so you see here, the first day would be when you start using Forecast, not the first day of your AWS free tier account. Yeah.
I see.
Customers receive up to 100,000 Forecast data points per month. Yeah. So you see here, it's for the first 2 months. But be careful, for some other services, it's not from the moment you use the service, it's from the moment you create your account. Yeah.
I see. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nafsika, your RDS is finished. Amazing. Did you pick the same instance as mine?
Hadelin, can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry, who's...
Yeah, I have another question unrelated to this lab.
Okay.
But I have posted it once in community.
Darren,
CloudWolf. So,
yeah.
So the thing was, I have not yet been able to get an IAM account in Amazon, and it's like a standstill from both sides.
Okay.
They keep on, so I'm not sure what I should do, but because of that, I'm not able to do anything with any of the tutorials or.
Oh, really?
Even
so
yeah. So I can't make an IAM. I have an Amazon account. Right?
Yes.
Trying to make an IAM from that account. That account gets that error message which I had previously shown in the community.
Yes, I remember this question. I think didn't I suggest to completely recreate a new account?
Yeah, I did. I completely recreated it, and then it didn't work. So then I sent
It did the same?
I sent an email to Amazon itself, and then they opened a ticket, and they were probably not able to figure it out. They just closed the ticket saying,
"Really, that's very strange." Could it be? Do you have a company computer? Do you have a company machine?
No. I go through laptop of my own.
Oh
personal.
yeah, it's your own laptop,
Yeah.
And in which region are you?
So is it something to do with I had taken an Amazon long ago. It's beyond 1 year. So
yes, but anyway, when you created your new account, you used a different email address, no? For example, me, I have so many different AWS accounts, each one having different email addresses.
Okay.
Did you try to create a new AWS account with a
I think
different?
I'll make a completely new with a new email address.
Okay, so it should work then, because it should be completely new. Me, each time I create a new AWS account, I use a different email address, and then I have a completely new account, and starting a new free tier for 1 year, and it's really
okay.
not.
I'll try that way. Maybe it's something to do with the tiers.
Yeah, it should work normally, but feel free to follow up in the thread on that question.
Okay, thank you, Hadelin.
Most welcome. Okay, so Nafsika, your database is ready. You took the same instance as mine, so mine should be ready too. Is it? And modifying. Why modifying? It's strange. It's modifying for some reason. I don't know what it's modifying. Nafsika, are you also getting this modifying? Or did I get my AWS account hacked? You also have modifying?
Yeah, mine was hacked too.
Okay. No. So yeah, I'm not sure what is being modified right now, but yes, I know what is being modified. Yes, it's actually the parameter group. It's because we entered our own parameter group, the one we created. And so I think what they mean by modifying here is actually the parameters. We enabled optimization of column additions. I think that's what they mean. Yeah. Because actually, if we hadn't entered, selected our own parameter group and kept the default parameter group, then we wouldn't have this modifying status here. So I think that the first step, the first thing that happens is that your Oracle database is being created. Then, okay, it's created, but then it's checking if there is this new parameter group connected to it. And if yes, and if you have some different parameters configured in different ways, then it will modify your Oracle database. So I think that's what is happening right now. So it shouldn't take long, actually. Just checking the questions. Okay, all good. Actually, once it's completely done, we will be able to see that parameter modified. Anyway, while it's modifying, I think we can already have a look at our database. Here is it. So welcome to it, our Oracle database. Let's have a look at the summary. So indeed, this is our Oracle database, status modifying. We took the DB-M5 large class. It is indeed an instance. What we created is a database instance. It has the Oracle Enterprise Edition engine, of course, and it was created in the it was created in the US East 1F availability zone in US East 1 region. No recommendation so far, good. Now let's have a look at the different tabs here. So this is the endpoint. This is extremely important. This is basically the connection endpoint from which we will connect to our database from outside of the cloud, from our machine. I will show you this to you at the end of this lab. Port 1521, so this is the port for Oracle. Then this is the availability zone in which the Oracle database was created. This is our default VPC, inside which as well our Oracle database was created. This is the subnet group, okay? These are all the subnets basically of the VPC. Then this is the security group that we created in the first step of this lab, which opens the two ports for Oracle and SSL. So very important to have this selected. We chose to test without the default security group of the VPC. I think it might work. Publicly accessible, yes, you should have yes here, very important as well. Otherwise it won't work, otherwise you won't be able to connect to your database instance. This is the certificate authority, RDS CA 2019, certificate authority date. Okay, so this is basically the expiration date of the certificate. DB instance certification expiration, yes, this one, August 22, 2024. Perfect. Connected compute resource. So we chose indeed to not connect our database, our Oracle database to an EC2 instance, but remember that this is part of the options. This is an option available to you when you create an Oracle database. Then security group rule, very important. So this is the security group that opens the two inbound rules for both Oracle and SSL. Replication Oracle database, okay. Manage IAM roles. Okay, so we're all good here. Now let's have a look at what is the status now. Is it done? Modifying still. It's taking some time to modify this database. Quite strange. Monitoring, so basically that's the enhanced monitoring that we had among our configuration. And of course, this is done in CloudWatch. So you have, for example, the burst balance, BU utilization, database connections. Okay, so actually we'll come back to it when we connect to our database. This will be interesting to see. Login events. All right, so CloudWatch again, you can have your logs here and events in the form of CloudWatch alarms. Configuration. So here you have some more data on your instance, database instance. All right, you have the engine version, bring your own license. Database names, that's very important. ORCL, that's the name we will use for the SID, you know, the identifier when we connect to our database from outside of the cloud. This is your instance class, 2 virtual CPUs, 8 GB of RAM. The credentials here, we disabled IAM database authentication. We enabled multi-AZ. Okay. Storage, we didn't enable encryption. Storage type, general purpose SSD with the minimum storage size. Okay. And performance insight. Okay. All right. Maintenance and backups, tags, recommendations. Okay. So in order to configure the parameter groups, so the different parameters we had before, you would just need to go to the parameter group you created and, change the parameters, the values of the parameters. And since the parameter group is connected to our Oracle database, that's how it would modify the different parameters. All right, so how are we doing? Is it done? Let's go back to our databases. Modifying still. Nafsika, are you still having modifying? Yes. Okay. Okay, maybe we can try to do the connection already. Anyway, let's prepare the final step of this lab, which is to connect to our Oracle database. You know, where you can create tables, make queries, etc. So the software you would need for, a connection to your Oracle database created in AWS is Oracle Developer. So you type here Oracle SQL Developer. There you go. SQL Developer by Oracle. You go inside. Then, okay. All right, so Oracle SQL Developer is a free integrated development environment that simplifies the development and management of Oracle database in both traditional and cloud deployments, indeed. So that's perfect for us. It is basically, the integrated development environment, the IDE we will use to connect from outside of the cloud, meaning from our machine to our database in the cloud, meaning in RDS. So there we go. Let's download SQL Developer. All right, here you choose the platform based on the platform you're using on your machine, whether it's Windows, Mac OS, or Linux, or even other platforms. All right, so I am on Mac OS, so I will choose this, download. You review and accept the Oracle license agreement and download SQL Developer. So basically what we're downloading now is just the IDE from which we're going to connect to our Oracle database in the cloud, but from our machine, meaning from outside the cloud. All right, so if you have an Oracle account, then you have to sign in. And if you don't have one, you have to create one. So that's the boring part of this lab. Indeed, you need to have an Oracle account. But you can create one super easily. I have one, so I will connect to it. There we go. And you can download this on your machine. All right, downloading. Done. Perfect. All right, is it still modifying? What is happening? Ah, there you go, it's done. Nafsika, is it done for you too? Hadelin, when you tested the lab before, how long did the Oracle RDS instance take to instantiate? So when I tested the lab before, it took the same time to create the Oracle database, the few minutes before the weird modifying thing. But I didn't have the modifying part of this instantiation. So the modifying, but I didn't use the parameter group. So it definitely has to do with the parameter group. I mean, I didn't do the same configuration as the one we did in the lab. So it definitely has to do with the parameter group. But when I tested the lab myself, it was just a few minutes, of creating the Oracle database. So Nafsika, good for you too, perfect. And Marcos, where are you right now? Did you instantiate the database? Did you create the database? Watching. Yeah, you're watching. Okay. So yeah, it took much less time when I did this, but that's probably because I did a different configuration. However, I did a very simple configuration, right? I just enabled a column addition optimization. So maybe that's what it took so much time to. Maybe that's what took so much time. I'm not sure about this, Marcos, but it's a great question. It's worth seeing what takes so much time. But thanks, Marcos. So yes, finally we have our database available, and also we have downloaded SQL Developer in order to connect to our Oracle database from outside of the cloud. So there we go. Let's install this. So actually, mine I already have this among my applications. If I go here, yes, SQL Developer, I already have this, so I won't install it again. But if you double click on it, it will expand another time here normally. Yeah, there you go. So very easy to install, no problem. You don't even have some options too. I know I have that. Okay. So yeah, I already have this, so I'm going to open it right away. SQL Developer. Nafsika, is it all good for you too? Did you have to create a new Oracle account? So now my SQL Developer is loading. And to finish this lab, I'm just going to... sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't want to create the account yet, but doesn't matter. I will just watch.
Okay, sure. You can if you want to complete the lab fully, you can always do it with the recording. But there you go. Welcome to Oracle SQL Developer. It's basically the IDE that allows you to connect to your database in the cloud, or not necessarily in the cloud, also a database on premises. All right. So I was saying something. No, I forgot. Okay, so yes, welcome to Oracle SQL Developer, allowing you to connect to your database in the cloud. So to finish this lab, I'm just going to show you how to connect to your database, and then feel free to play with it and create some tables. This is more about creating tables with queries, with SQL queries, than creating and deploying an Oracle database. We already did it, actually. We already deployed the Oracle database, but I just want to show you how to connect to it, and then we'll finish this lab. Okay, so here we go. To create a connection to your Oracle database created in AWS, you have to click the plus here, all right, which allows you to create indeed a new database connection. All right, so first you have to give a name to the connection, not the database or anything. It's just the name to the connection that will appear in your Oracle SQL Developer IDE. So let's call it very simply Oracle connection. All right. Here, database type, you have to choose Oracle. Well, you just have one option. You choose Oracle here. Here you keep user info, not proxy user. You keep user info. Authentication type, you keep default. Username, so that's exactly the username that you entered when creating your Oracle database in AWS. So remember, for me, I just chose my name, but the default username was admin. If you kept admin Napsika, then you will have to enter admin here, or maybe your name, Napsika. Mine was Hadelin. I entered the Hadelin username, which is my first name. Then, for the password, same, you enter the exact same password you entered in when creating your Oracle database in RDS. So I'm going to enter mine. All right, perfect. Then connection type, you're going to keep basic here. And then here, that's where it's very important. First, you have to enter the host name, which is exactly the endpoint of your Oracle database. Let me show you. Let's go back to RDS. You use Napsika. Okay, perfect. Diran, you have used Oracle SQL Developer. Good. So you can totally complete this lab with ease. So let's go to RDS, and let me show you the path again. So you go to your Oracle database. All right, then you scroll down. You go to Connectivity and Security, the first tab, and you go to Endpoint here. And here you're just going to select the whole endpoint. All right, the whole endpoint. You copy it, and then back into Oracle SQL Developer, you're going to replace localhost here by this endpoint. And this is basically the link to your Oracle database in your AWS account. All right. So port 1521, so that's the port for Oracle. Perfect. Let's keep it like that. And then, however, very important here, you have to change the SID. It is not XE. It is exactly the identifier name you chose for your database. Let me help you find it. You're not going to find it in connectivity and security here, I think. By the way, not to confuse with this one. This is not the identifier that is expected in Oracle SQL Developer. You will find it, I think, if I remember correctly, in configuration. Yes, this is the one. DB name. This is the exact name you have to enter here in Oracle SQL Developer. SIT or RCL. Maybe you chose a different name, Napsika. It was ORCL. Yes, correct. It was a ORCL or any name you entered, the initial name. Yes. Okay, perfect. And now, final moment, we're going to test the connection. All right, that's all we need to do here. I think we have done everything. We have the security group that allows the Oracle traffic and SSL traffic. We have the option group for SSL. We have our endpoint here. We have the right port. We have the right identifier ORCL. So let's test it. Let's click test, and here we go. Testing connection and success. Congratulations, Napsika. Did you also get the same thing?
Was supposed to send me a confirmation email, and I'm still waiting for it.
Yes, correct. Yes, I forgot. No. I think I'm the only one on Oracle SQL Developer. It's okay. Feel free to watch the recording and do those final steps at your own pace. So yes, basically I click test here, testing connection, success. For example, I can do anything. I can change. But no. I can go back to XE here. I can click test, and you will see status failure, test failed. Okay, so you see it's very important to enter the right identifier and the right endpoint and the right port as well. All right, let's go back to success. Perfect. So basically the test is successful. And so now finally, the final step of this lab, we're going to connect to our database. And here we are. We have just connected to our database. Here it is, Oracle connection, loading, and there you go. Feel free to now do whatever you want. You can create some SQL functions. You can make some SQL queries. You can create some tables. You have everything here. This is basically more related to Oracle SQL Developer. But there you go. You can do anything you want, just as you would do, in your database, working on your database. All right. So let's not create anything more here. Feel free to play with it. You know, if you watch this lab again and want to build some tables or anything you want, some functions, some procedures, some packages, anything you want. Some of you I saw are experts in SQL, have a lot of experience with Oracle. So there you go. Feel free to play. And that brings us to the end of this lab. Congratulations for attending. Congratulations. Thank you so much for attending, and congratulations for reaching the end of this lab. It was a great pleasure to give this to you. Now you know how to create and deploy an Oracle database in the cloud and create, you know, some tables, function, procedures, anything you want in the cloud. So thank you so much, and feel free to ask me some questions to finish this lab.
Yeah, wait, Hadelin.
Ah, yes, default security group not needed. You're right, Marcos. So that's actually good to know. Yeah, sorry, Ray. Thank you. What are you?
Is there a part 2 that we can pass data from AWS to your database? Part 2.
You want to pass data to? Sorry, can you ask again the question?
Oh, passing data from your AWS EC2 instance to your RDS. I mean, to your Oracle database. Is there a part 2 for your live lab?
Ah, is there a part 2 to this lab? No, well, I didn't have that in the planning, but if all of you are telling me that you found this super interesting and you want a part 2 where we really build a table and we pass on some data, sure, I could do it.
I mean, it's just a suggestion.
Yeah, definitely. I'll consider it. That's a great idea. I will follow the interest, because then I will post the recording. I will create the lab in the live lab space, and definitely we will see if we do a part 2. That's interesting. There are many things that we can do after creating this database for
Correct.
sure.
Yeah.
So
yes,
I'll see the interest, and I'll see the suggestions, and definitely if all of you want to do a part 2, let's do a part 2. Definitely. Definitely. And yes, let's do the very important thing, which is the cleanup, of course. So now that the connection is established, that was the final demo. I'm going to, of course, delete everything here. I'm just going to do that quickly so that you also have the cleanup part if you want to, do the lab until the end. So to do the cleanup, it's very easy. You select your Oracle database, you click Actions, and then you click Delete. All right. And then you enter Delete Me here. Delete. All right, and now it's deleting your database instance very simply. All right, and then of course you can delete the option group, the parameter group. These are of course free of charge. It won't cost you anything, but let's do the full cleanup and let's delete them as well. All right, so this was created by default, by the way. This is default option group created when you created your Oracle database, and this was the one we created for SSL. So for some reason we can't, because we can't delete them at the same time. We have to do them one by one. So let's create the SSL option group first. Delete option. Options to delete SSL, yes. Apply immediately, yes. And delete. Okay. So it's going to be deleted. And now let's delete the default one. But the default one, I think, will be deleted automatically once the full database instance is deleted. Then parameter group, same. Let's delete the parameter group. Actions. Delete and delete. Ah, yes, because my database is not deleted yet. Once it's deleted, I will be able to delete this. However, I think we should be able to delete the Oracle Database Security Group we created before. Let's click Actions, delete security group. It might not work. Yeah, it's because my database is still deleted. It's still being deleted. Basically, this needs to be deleting first, and then we'll be able to delete everything. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to read your different comments. Marcos, fantastic. Default says you're not needed. Yes, indeed. I'm really glad you raised this point. Now, at least we know for sure. Diren, very nice. Thanks. Thank you so much, Diren. I'm glad you liked it. Nafsika, what do I need to delete to stop the dollars ticking? Just delete your Oracle database. That's it. That's the only thing. But then if you want to do the full cleanup, then better to also delete the option group, the parameter group, and the security group. Kathy, Hadelin, this lab is very helpful. I'm glad you liked it and that it's useful for you, Kathy. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. I have to leave for a meeting now. Okay, thank you so much for joining, Kathy, and enjoy your meeting. Nafsika, Oracle just answered me. Okay, great. Okay, cool. So you'll be able to have Oracle SQL Developer and and finish the lab at your own pace. Marcos, question, does AWS have a template function to capture this configuration for quick replay to set up the Oracle database without having to go through all the manual config steps? If so, would be a value for Ray's suggestion of lab number 2 continuation. That's a great question. Actually, let's try the easy create with Oracle, because you know what we mostly did to create this database, you know, what we mostly customized to create this database is the option group and the parameter group. But the parameter group was completely optional. It was just to show you that you can do a lot of configuration, which you can't do if you use the default parameter group. So the parameter group won't really be necessary for lab part 2, you know, lab number 8, part 2. However, the option group is very important. So indeed, it would be great to have this template, which includes this option group for SSL. Let me check. What I'm going to do is try first the easy create for Oracle deleting, still deleting. Huh? But if I click create database again and select easy create, okay, I can do Oracle again. Oracle Enterprise Edition, production. Okay, so no, yeah, we will have to do everything again, basically. Setup EC2 connection, no. View default setting of easy create. Okay, option group. See, in the easy create, it takes the default option group and it doesn't even allow us to, you know, select the option group we created. So that's a problem. We can't do easy create. So easy create is not a solution to your question. We will have to go to standard create again. But is there a template we can create? I'm not sure actually. Let's try the options here. I'm gonna go back to databases. Okay, let's see actions. Let's see if we can, you know, create a template among the options here. Convert to multi-AZ deployment, turn on backups, stop temporarily, reboot, delete, set up EC2 connection, set up Lambda connection, create recap, promote, take snapshot. There is a snapshot you can create, and maybe you can create a database from a snapshot. So yeah, that would be the solution, I think. Let me see the other. Restore to point in time, migrate snapshot, started. Okay, so I think yes, there is a solution to your question, which is a very good question, by the way. You can probably take a snapshot of your Oracle database, but however, be careful, snapshots incur some cost. Be careful with this, but yes, you can create take a snapshot and then probably create a database from the snapshot. If you go to snapshot here, probably, you know, I have a snapshot. Perfect. Let's try. This is the snapshot that was created, by the way, when I created the Oracle database. But probably once it will be deleted, the snapshot will also be deleted. So let's test it quickly to see if it works. So you select your snapshot. See, I can't do these options because actually the snapshot will be deleted as well. Restore snapshot, copy snapshot, migrate snapshot, delete snapshot. So probably restore snapshot will allow you to create the database from the snapshot. Not sure 100%. I will test it after, actually. If we do a lab number 8, part 2, I will definitely tell you what to do in the description of the event, you know? If we redo all the steps that we did in the lab, or if we create the database from the snapshot. But yes, this would be the solutions. Thank you, Nafsika. I'm glad you liked it. Yes, thank you, Marcos. Yeah, that was a great question. The snapshot, I think, would be our best option. I will try it. I will try it after the lab. I will recreate the exact same Oracle database, and then I will take the snapshot and I will see if we can create the exact same database from the snapshot. But be careful, snapshots are not free. So, you know, if we do the lab next month, maybe it's a bit dangerous to keep the snapshot. I'll let you know. All right, thank you. Most welcome. I'm super happy you liked it as well. Let's see how my database is doing. No, it's still deleting. Yeah, it's taking some time to delete, just as it's taking some time to create. So yeah, let's stop here. Anyway, that was the most important thing to do, to delete your database. Thank you so much again for attending. I'm glad you liked it. Let's see if we do a part 2 for this lab. Thank you. Have a great evening, and Happy New Year again. And I look forward to seeing you either in the next lab or in check-in call. There is a check-in call tomorrow for the new members. And maybe part 2. Yes, Elzbieta, absolutely. That's a great idea. Bye-bye and see you very soon. Thank you again for attending.